Hey, I'm Shelby, and I'm going to talk about finding and using your own voice after you've left a high control religious environment. When I first left my environment, when I first deconstructed, I realized that I didn't really know who I was anymore. My identity was so grounded in my community that I was in that when I left it, a big piece of me died. And I had to then rebuild who I was, and that process was grueling and took a lot of work and reading and social interaction with people I wasn't supposed to be interacting with. And I found that when your whole life you are given a voice to speak with that isn't yours, or other people are speaking through you, or Jesus is speaking through you, you don't really develop your own voice. Not if you're that deep in it like I was. When you finally get to use your own voice, you use it a lot and you're very loud with it. And this is a big contributor to the angry atheist phase that a lot of deconstructed people go with, because the contrast that they're experiencing from their old community and not having their own voice to suddenly having no constraints on their voice, on who they are, they have absolutely no boundaries. They look to all these famous atheist thinkers like Hitchens and Harris and Dillahunty. Those guys are loud and blunt, and they don't have not a lot of subtlety there. But they make a person who was disempowered in an old community feel empowered again, feel like they can stand up and speak against the things that they feel like hurt them. And so when I deconstructed, I connected very deeply with that. I started going to all my old religious friends and like trying to start up conversations about, it's like, well, I used to believe this, but like, what about this? Man, I send these like walls of text to friends, or I used to. I try to do that less, but I was just like, oh, I can speak with my own voice. I'm just going to type a million things and then see if they'll engage with me. And I always try to be respectful, and I feel that I always was respectful. But it's intoxicating to experience that freedom once you leave. As a silly side effect, when I was growing up, I never said a single swear word. I did not under my breath, not in private, never said anything. I was a heck and I was a dang it. Those were okay. They were pushing it. Like saying piss instead of pee, that was, no way, dude. Even crap was too far. I'll never forget the first time I swore. I was 19 years old and it just came out of me. I couldn't stop it. And then it was like the dam broke, and I turned into that really obnoxious person that swears every other word. And that's speaking with your own voice. The chains come off, and it's just all over the place. And I've pulled that back now, and I even feel like I code switch around my friends. Like I swear now occasionally when I feel like it can add some emphasis, but I don't do it around my old friends. For whatever reason, my old brain just clicks in like that when I'm around them, and I code switch and I don't swear. And I'm glad I'm able to have a rein on that now. I found my voice, I reined it in, and I'm secure in that now. But a lot of this like explosive expression of new identity is fueled by anger. That anger is justified and it's directed at things that are harmful. But anger can warm your house or it can burn it down. I think a lot of atheists, former Christians, explain the progression as deconstruction, angry atheist, and then whatever it comes after that, like forgiveness. And I'm not quite going to say that I'm there. I still feel very, very deep anger for my old community, for the doctrines that hurt my brain. But I'm now taking that anger, and it's not burning my house down anymore. I'm using it to fuel research and reading and conversations with people and the pursuit of de-radicalization, the pursuit of creating and contributing to a community in which deconstructed people can have support, and a community that people in my old groups can look at and say, okay, what he's doing there, that doesn't seem so bad, It doesn't seem so scary for me. If people in high control environments look out into the world and all they see is anger directed at them, because there's a lot of that in the world right now, and for good reason. Like, especially in my country, Christian nationalism is real and it's causing real harm. So there's a lot of righteous anger directed at religious people right now. But also, if we want to pull people out of that environment and get them to a safer place for them and their children, we need to show them that the lies they've been told about the outside world are wrong. And that's the kind of community I'm trying to contribute to. So I can serve both the deconstructed people and the people still in those communities. I like to think about something that I'm just going to call a nothingness doctrine, and I didn't make that up. It's this idea that you are nothing without God. You can achieve nothing without God. Everything you do is for and through God. So the dying to self idea, essentially you're a conduit for things to flow through towards something else. It's not okay for you to take pleasure, to take pride in what you've done, because you're just this mirror where things can bounce off of you. You can't internalize them and they go somewhere else. You're not speaking with your own voice. A big part of that is the lie they tell you that the only way to achieve spirituality, not even just higher spirituality like transcendence, the only way to achieve spirituality is to completely neglect the self. It's to disconnect from your body and look somewhere else, because the body is to them a prison. The flesh is a prison that we're stuck here on earth in, and true spiritual transcendence is escaping that. And that's extremely, extremely damaging to the self. I think in many ways, Christian doctrine is good at teaching people how to be compassionate for others. But it is absolutely, unacceptably terrible at teaching people how to care and be compassionate for themselves. And even that compassion for other people thing, that's only up to a point. If you're a Christian, for at least the kind of Christianity that I was in, you're demanded to believe that there's something someone can do to be deserving of eternal punishment in the utmost horrific and painful and terrible environment imaginable. I don't think that you can have compassion and empathy and believe that at the same time. I don't think it's possible. This is one reason I think Calvinism is so disturbing, to think that not only is there eternal punishment, but you can be born into this world and through no fault of your own, God has simply deemed you not worthy of salvation for whatever reason. You're not one of the elect. That is so disturbing that someone can accept that, to me. But at the same time, I'm not going to deny that a lot of Christian churches help people in their community. And, they give a safe place for people to recover from things and find community, find social support. That's true. That compassion has a really low limit. And if the compassion for other people is low, the compassion for the self is just in the dirt. There's so much self-blame. There's so much hatred of the body, of the flesh, this thing that corrupts us and keeps us from being able to be connected with God. So essentially, your identity at that point is corrupted. You cannot ground your identity in who you are. It has to be grounded in the church, in God, in the Great Commission. But thankfully, it is possible to build an identity from scratch. And I feel that I've accomplished that to a satisfactory, to me, degree. And I'm confident in who I am apart from what I was. And I've able to rein in my voice and express who I am with compassion and empathy for other people's experiences, but also ultimately for my own experience. Finding self-compassion and self-love is extremely difficult for me, but through therapy and a lot of thinking, I'm achieving that. And you can too if you're experiencing the same problem. So if you're going through this, just let me know and I will talk to you. Like I said, I just want to contribute to this community and help other people if I can through my own experience. So let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.